Handy Hudsonite here. We're going to take a quick look at the suspension parts behind your wheel. I've taken off the wheel here on my Honda Odyssey. As you can see, the wheel assembly. Be sure to check out my video where I talk about these parts in this area, and you can watch that. What I'm going to look at now are some components that are further back here. And what we have here is we have the tie rod, and the tie rod is consistent of two parts. You have a tie rod end, which is the outer tie rod, and it has a ball joint, and some of them, like this one, you can actually lubricate, and so that's important to keep that lubricated. Then there's an inner tie rod, and this goes pretty far back, and it has a boot on it, and you need a special tool in order to remove the inner tie rod, and doing this job is fairly simple as long as you pay attention to all the details. I have replaced this here on my Honda. Unfortunately, I don't have a video for that at this point. We have the control arm. I just replaced this today, so this is a brand new control arm that connects in 3 points. Here is a vertical connection, a horizontal, and then in here, I come around to this side. Here is the lower ball joint, and I make sure to watch my video on that I put up recently on how to remove and replace the control arm. Then here you have the sway bar, which helps with the steering, the sway bar end link, or end stabilizer, which connects in 2 parts, one to the strut, and down here the other part to the stabilizer bar, or the sway bar. And then you have sway bar or stabilizer bar bushings that help with just the stability of the sway bar itself. And these all work together, and of course the strut here, which I recently replaced as well. And these all work together to keep your car your car on the road properly, and keep your car stable when you go around corners and over bumps, of course. So that's just a look at the different parts of your suspension in your car that are vital to keep check of. And anytime you take off your wheel, and be sure to check out my video on how to remove a wheel, you can see these components very easily, and it's easy to check them just to see if they're wearing out. So these bushings here, you want to check these rubber bushings there. With the tie rods, you want to check this tie rod end to make sure that it's lubricated, that it's not loose. You wouldn't be able to check if that's loose until you were to actually take it off and check it, or if you were to jack up your wheel assembly to take some load off of it. And the inner tie rod, you can only check if you take the outer tie rod off and make sure it's firm. If not, then it needs to be replaced in there. And then the strut mounts, or the part at the top that connects in with your engine bay, can tend to go bad, and there's a bearing up there, and that bearing can tend to wear out, which it did for mine. So hopefully this is helpful to learn your way around the different suspension parts of the vehicle. And be sure to subscribe to my channel, the Handy Hudsonite, for more tips, hacks, and reviews so that you can get the job done. And I will look forward to seeing you in the next video.